This is the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for Wednesday, September the 25th. I'm Michael Groff. After a rather quiet afternoon in the valley yesterday, we'll see more active conditions returning later today and tonight, with the primary risk being thunderstorms, heavy rain, and flash flooding. But we could also see a few strong or severe storms with damaging winds. Maybe a couple of storms put down some large hail too. Nothing quite like what we saw on Monday. But yes, severe weather will be a possibility. Let's get into it. First, the almanac from yesterday. 88 degrees, the high in the valley, well below average. And of course, that morning low, 68. We picked up 1/100th of an inch of rain in the bucket at Sky Harbor. Hopefully, we'll continue to cut into that rainfall deficit. Outside now, here at 9:50 a.m., we've got partly cloudy skies in the valley. We sit at 79 degrees at Sky Harbor. Dew points at 61. Humidity, 54%. The winds are light and the barometer is steady. Temperatures out there right now, 68 up on Thompson Peak. That's the cool spot. 73 at Goldfield, 75 Goodyear, 76 Avondale. The upper air look continues to reveal a cutoff low spinning around the southwestern United States, and that's going to make for a rather challenging and unsettled weather forecast for the next 24 to 36 hours. We have a flash flood watch across much of southern and western Arizona. That's in effect until 5 p.m. tomorrow. And keep in mind, the ground is already fairly saturated across northern Maricopa and Gila counties, so any additional rain will lead to more rapid runoff there. Convective outlook for today, a marginal risk of severe storms, much of Oklahoma and Arkansas, as well as here in southern Arizona, southeast California, including the Phoenix metro area. As that low continues to lift off to the north, better upper dynamics will come into play later today and tonight. And yes, nothing quite like what we saw on Monday, but some storms, at least isolated storms, could produce large hail, damaging wind, a few microbursts, maybe even an isolated tornado. That's something that's on the table, which we'll talk about in a moment. Precipitation outlook valid through next Wednesday morning from the WPC. Rain amounts here in the valley around a half inch or so in a widespread basis. But, of course, any one spot could get a lot more than what's shown here, as we have already had with this system earlier in the week. I don't expect to see any 5 and 6 inch rainfall totals, but certainly we could still see some heavier rain across the valley and the favored upslope areas. Let's get into the details of it now as we explore the models, see what the future may hold. Here we go to the GFS, the 12Z run, valid at 5 o'clock this afternoon. This is the upper look at about 18,000 feet. There's our low spinning around the southwest. We're on the favorable side, the positive vorticity side. Some difluent flow aloft, down at the surface, partly cloudy skies, an isolated shower around this morning. Then we become mostly cloudy later this afternoon. Scattered showers and thunderstorms will start to develop. The key word there is still scattered, though, because not everybody is going to get wet, though if you do, might see some locally heavy rain. And yes, a discrete cell or two could put out some strong damaging wind and some hail also, especially later on toward the evening hours. Highs today, upper 80s, so we'll stay well below our seasonal averages. Tonight, cloudy, scattered to numerous showers and thunderstorms. I'd say storms are likely. This is the 3-kilometer NAM at 9 o'clock this evening. It's got showers and storms coming in here. Looking at some of the atmospheric parameters to see what we might have for the potential of severe weather. CAPE values. This is convective available potential energy. The instability of the atmosphere is somewhere around 1,500 to 2,000 joules per kilogram here over southern Arizona. So we've got the instability. Bulk shear values not as high as what we saw on Monday, but still around 40 knots or so across a good portion of southern Arizona, maybe a little higher than that, and a difluent flow aloft. So those air parcels are going to freely rise and form some deeper convection. Out ahead of this low, I think kind of discrete cells form this afternoon and early evening, and then they start to organize later on. But any storm could be capable of producing that large hail, some damaging straight line winds. And given that we have this presence of this rather potent cold core low spinning around, we can't even rule out an isolated, brief, weak spin-up tornado at some point later this afternoon or through the evening hours here across southern Arizona. Not saying that we're going to have a tornado, but certainly the conditions are favorable for a very brief, weak spin-up tornado like what we saw in New River on Monday afternoon. All right, as that low continues to lift on out of here overnight, we'll still see those numerous showers and thunderstorms. Then they'll start to decrease by tomorrow, but still scattered showers and storms will be with us through much of the day on Thursday as that low slowly passes overhead. Otherwise, the day is mostly cloudy. High temperatures probably stay in the mid-80s. We'll be around 10 degrees below normal tomorrow, maybe just a bit more than that. Now, the biggest challenge of this forecast is going to be just how much rain we get, and certainly the rainfall distribution across the valley will be quite varied, as it often is with these types of systems. But trying to get better clarity on that, let's take a look at the SREF. This is the short-range ensemble forecast. You see the mean there for precipitation is around 1/4 of an inch. Many of the members clustered between about 2/10 and 1/3 of an inch. A couple of outliers are way up there, getting closer to an inch. But certainly one or two spots will see a lot of rain from this feature. But most of us, yes, probably 1/4 to a 1/2 inch at most. Now, as we go to Friday, conditions start to dry out. High temperatures upper 80s to near 90. Over the weekend, another trough dropping into the Great Basin, an upper low spinning around, staying quasi-stationary for the weekend. And I guess there's enough upper forcing around to give an isolated shower or thunderstorm to the high country or maybe northern Maricopa County. Went ahead and put a slight chance of showers and storms into our forecast for both Saturday and Sunday evening. But just keep in mind that the majority of us are going to stay dry. Partly cloudy skies over the weekend and high temperatures somewhere between 87 and 90. Then Monday, that trough sliding north of us and keeping temperatures below average. Partly cloudy skies, high temperatures probably between about 85 and 88 for both Monday and Tuesday. Here's a week from today. This is Wednesday, the 2nd of October. Trough moving into the northern plain states. We look to stay dry with baggy troughing hanging to the west of the state and a mainly southwesterly flow in here. And then go down 10 days. This is the end of the forecast period. Friday, the 4th of October, and that looks like a fairly dry setup. Although, curiously, the GFS is trying to bring just a little bit of moisture back into eastern Arizona at this point for a slight chance of showers and storms there. But this is 10 days out. A lot to think about between now and then. The rainfall forecast coming off the European ensemble, the QPF here, pretty tightly clustered. The model spread not nearly as great. Looks like there's going to be rain somewhere between 1/4 and a 1/2 inch for the most part. That looks pretty consistent with what we're seeing off the other models as well. And then temperatures through the period off of the GFS ensemble. How about this? Staying below average for the rest of September into at least early October, even highs getting back closer to normal. And that's around 90 to the low 90s for the first week of October. Looking good. And that's going to do it for the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for today. My next video back here tomorrow morning or sooner if necessary. If you like our videos, be sure to subscribe and click that notification bell so that whenever we post a brand new one, you'll get notified of that. Otherwise, your comments, questions, suggestions, always encouraged as well. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Be safe out there and have a fantastic Wednesday.